In my puppy kindergarten classes, people don't realize how much work puppies are. One girl said, it wakes up at 5 a.m. She says, when's it gonna learn to sleep in? I said, yeah, it may not. And it is, it's like having a little kid in the house. You've got to make sure, it's house trained. You've got to make sure it's there. They're bad when they're little sometimes. They chew things, they bite things, they are busy, busy, busy. And people don't realize that. They think they're gonna go home and it's all like about Lassie. They're fun, they're easy. They just come and do, and they cuddle and do things like that. They forget about all the rest of the stuff.
Who doesn't like cute puppies? But choosing a breeder and even the breed for your family can be complicated. Today on NSK9, we learn about choosing a responsible breeder and the right dog for your family. You're a breeder of puppies. Can you tell me why you chose Bernese Mountain Dog?
I thought there was some issues with the breeding practices, especially in North America, of this breed. And we were trying to diversify the stock and improve the longevity and health of these dogs.
Why does this breed need some help?
Because the lines aren't diversified enough for them to have good stock for breeding. So what happens is sometimes a breeder will always go to the same stud. So we've got like 20 breeders all going to the same stud. You've lost your genetic pool. So you have to diversify your genetic pool. And that's kind of what my approach is. It's like, they can't all be star dogs. Some of them because they've got good longevity lines. Like my 10-year-old female out there, she's not a star dog, but she's got excellent longevity lines. So,
is that an increasing problem, the lack of genetic diversity?
Yes, in all breeds, in all purebreds, absolutely. Or poor breeding practices, where like they say, okay, we just want to have two beautiful dogs to make another beautiful show dog, but okay, that's got a failed hip. Oh, that's got a bad elbow. Oh, it doesn't matter. I want the beauty.
It's enough to make you a bit unsure of who to trust when choosing a breeder. Nobody looking for a puppy wants health problems and shortened lifespans. Now, when you talk to breeders about people who are trying to improve breeding stock, Janice is high on that list.
This is life at my house. Come on, guys.
We went to Switzerland, where they're from, and we got a dog from Marburg Kennel, and he is from the working line. So he actually can cart, as well as do a lot of other things, and brought him over to start our stock.
Because that's what these dogs are
They're
known
meant to
for
cart.
originally, isn't it? It's to pull carts.
Is to pull carts, yeah.
And we're used to seeing these dogs
Yes.
in pictures of the Swiss Alps, and
Exactly.
I mean this is the Sound of Music dog.
This is
really.
the Sound of Music dog, exactly.
Good boy. Good boy. Good push. Easy.
I was really enamored with the standards over in Europe, and especially in Switzerland, because they're really into the protection mode themselves for these dogs. And it is very difficult to get a dog from Switzerland just because of that. They want to see the longevity, they want to see the workability of the dog, and they want to make sure that the kennels are the same as what they are there. And this is the kind of setup that they have. They don't live in kennels, so that they're not exposed to people. They're actually part of the family, part of the household. And that was really important to me, that we maintain their standards.
Standards. At the end of the day, anyone can breed 2 dogs and sell the puppies. Nova Scotia is one jurisdiction that requires health certifications before the sale of cats and dogs, but it still doesn't always happen. Responsible breeders go much, much further, doing genetic testing on prospective sires and mares, sharing these results, and working with others around the world to improve the health and characteristics of breeds.
Good boy. There we go. Stop.
You were explaining the genetic testing.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
genetic testing, it's fairly new, probably within the last 10 years that they've started doing that. And,
Is that because it's simpler now?
it's so simple. It's just swabs, and you send it off.
And what can they test for?
Von Willebrand's, which is a blood disorder, DMS, which is a skin issue, and you do everything.
And so that's why I guess it's important when you're getting a dog from a breeder to know if they've done genetics.
You-
Because you
yeah, to
can rule
make
out
su-
things.
You can rule out things, and you know you're not going to have this problem. So you want to make sure that we're always improving on the breed, that we're not bringing back problems that we've had before.
Yeah, because it was a bit of guesswork before that, wasn't it?
Plus, yeah. Most of the time it was color, and you know, we could still improve on heads and things like, but health
But
testing
hips
is
and things
yeah.
that didn't show up till later.
yeah,
and-
exactly. So it's all about the health testing, right? You want to sell somebody a healthy dog.
yeah.
There's still things that we can't, predict, but we try and cover everything as much as we can.
Hips, elbows, eyes, heart, degenerative myelopathy, which is the which is where they get the issue with their spine as they get older. And you see some older dogs where all of a sudden their spines will let go. And so we wanted to make sure that we, tried to eliminate that from our breeding program. And you have to test them genetically. So we do genetic tests for that. And then we also do genetic testing for von Willebrand, which is unfortunately prevalent in this breed. And it's similar to hemophilia. So it's like the blue blood disease. And again, that's from poor breeding practices. Any good breeder will, and does, I know, give you a list of the documents from each of the breeding parents to show you exactly what they've been tested for and what the results are. And those documents, we put them on our website, but we also give a package of that to each of the puppy owners, saying, here's all of the tests that were done on those parents, so you can be assured you're getting good quality.
And my thought process now is if everybody passes their genetics testing, he is going to be bred to her.
Okay. Do you have to be careful figuring out who
Yep.
breeds against who?
Yeah, I do. So I've got to look at their faults, because your goal is to improve the breed, right? That is what our ultimate goal is to improve the breed or your breeding that you have. So you want to look at head, you want to look at, fronts, you want to look at rears, things like that.
All right.
So you want to look at all those things and make sure you're going to improve on it. That's your goal.
Purebred dog is a dog that has registered parents on both sides from that breed from a registered body, okay, the Canadian Kennel Club, the American Kennel Club, something like that. Then we have our mixed bred dogs, which are a mix of a whole bunch of things. It's 2 or more, 6, 8, whatever. Then we have our designer dogs, or another word for them are hybrids, where we've got 2 purebred dogs from different breeds that have been mated and produced the designer dog.
You guys, come in. Come on, come Blue, Rose.
If I say, is there a bad breed? It's because the breeders are having an issue, or the breeder didn't do what they should have done. It's like, is there bad dogs or good dogs? Some dogs are just wired wrong. That would be my answer. But no, we're not really any bad breeds. I mean, there's breeds that I would never own, but I'm not going to look at them
But
and
that's
go,
a personal preference,
that's
right?
a personal preference. But as a bad breed,
So it really is a lot about the
breeding.
breeding and the care
genetics,
that people put in.
and the socialization that that breeder did when they were babies, like they were handled and things like that, and they were stimulated. They saw new things when they were still with the mom and with the breeder. And that goes for, we have some breedings, that happen, that people just didn't get their dogs spayed or neutered fast enough, But as long as they socialize them and get them handled and things like that, and to make sure that they come from half-decent breeding stock so that you're not running into, that mom was really dog aggressive. Well, that can be passed along to the puppies. It's breeding.
Let's see the puppy.
Christine obviously loves dogs. She couldn't do what she does, breeding, kenneling, and training, if she didn't. But even she recognizes there are breeds that would be a poor match for her. It's something that Janice thinks about
There's a
too,
big boy.
when people come looking for a Bernese mountain dog.
Yeah.
These dogs can get very big, but they're also very friendly dogs.
Yes,
But they also require a lot of space.
yes,
Or
they
the
do.
ability to get some exercise because of their size. So how do you recommend that people choose a breed or figure out what's right for their lifestyle? Because
Yeah.
a lot of people just say, that's a pretty dog, I want that. Or I
Yeah.
want the lap dog, or they decide based on the puppy.
A lot of people, it's a visual thing again, and they just say, I'd like to look at the Bernese. I really want one. And I say, okay, where do you live? I live in an apartment. I don't.
I'm guessing that doesn't work so well.
These dogs do require a lot of space because they're a big dog. Now, because they're a big dog does not mean they're high energy, okay? They're moderate energy, what we call, so that they will have a good walk and then they will go lay down. So they won't be like a problem that you've always got to throw the ball like the border collie or whatever, because they don't have that high energy. So if your lifestyle is, I go for a lovely walk every day and I want to just cuddle my dog after that, perfect breed.
And you also do something that I'd never heard of before, which is temperament testing.
Yeah, we boy, do we need one on that.
Yeah, apparently we have a little battle going on. Be on the mic.
So the temperament test is I think really important. So you can determine as to, will you stop? This one here is a little monkey. So you can determine the family that's going to get your puppy. We pick that for them. So if somebody says they wanted a calm, quiet puppy for their children, I don't think this one will work. So we have to make sure that we have really an unbiased opinion on that as well. So we do hire somebody. Her name is Tracy Snyder, and I encourage any other breeder to do it. And she comes in and she does about 15 tests on the puppies, and then she rates them, and then we have a really good idea.
So on temperament testing,
Yeah.
We have all these puppies here, and for me, I couldn't tell the difference other than we do have one sitting over there who is very camera shy and is quiet. So I would say, okay, well, there's the quiet one, but the rest are active as puppies would be, and
But
so
that could be just because he has enough in his belly and he's tired, or he's been playing hard out there and it's time for his rest.
Okay.
So that's not a true test. So when people go to pick a puppy and they go, oh, I want him because he's quiet or whatever, but he could have been a real terror. So by doing the temperament tests, we actually are putting these dogs under stresses that real life that they'd have to endure, and then we know.
Okay.
It's a much better way of doing it.
And
It really is, yeah.
And so you end up, if I wanted to get a Bernese mountain dog from you,
Yeah.
you effectively decide which is the best
Which is the
one
best
for
fit
me.
for you. Exactly.
It-
I get what you would like as standards. Some people have visual standards. They like, they like some symmetry. Some people say, well, I like the smaller line on the face. Like there may be some little things there. And if I can accommodate, I will. But I always tell them, number one is the temperament of the dog to fit your lifestyle.
The importance of matching dog temperament to a family is increasingly important as formal and informal testing becomes more common. In fact, it's something you should ask for. Many of the best breeders are, just like Janice, making the decision on which dog goes to which home.
I don't let people pick their puppy. I pick the puppy for them because of the fact that they may want that bouncy little cute fluff ball, but they don't realize that that dog has got more energy than their family can handle. You can do so many things with dogs. So if you're into even walking, the dog is there with you. It's companionship. They're quiet. They're there. Sometimes if you just want to go and stroll, the dog's glad to go with you. You want to just sit and watch TV. It's quiet. The dog's there. Emotional support. I'm into confirmation and obedience and things like that. That's my hobby. The dogs fit into it. That's what I want to do. It's my social life. So it all depends on what you're looking for.
Of course, temperament testing and a breeder matching a dog's personality to your family can only do so much. Dogs, just like children, still need to learn manners.
Dogs need to have manners, even if you take, and they need to be socialized. If you want a good, well-behaved dog, you need to put some work into it. So puppy socialization, we start with that, so it's basic manners. It's how to play with another puppy. I give people tips on house training and chewing and biting and toys and all that kind of stuff. And then we move into obedience classes, so the dog learns to sit, to stay, to down, because those are just manners that they should have.
What are the main things you'd like to see improved?
Breeder-wise, I think there should be mandatory testing of all breeding pairs, similar to what they do in Switzerland, is that they have to have their health test before they can be qualified. And the temperament test as well has to be of the breeding pair. You know, they have to be of sound quality and sound temper, and that the kennels be maintained in a clean environment and a family environment, so that these animals are still interacted with daily, and because they deserve it. They absolutely love to be with humans.
Honest answer, no. Hair has a longer sort of shed pattern or growth pattern, so it stays on the dog longer than fur does. Fur tends to be short and is very short turnaround time, so they're shedding all the time. What people are actually reacting to is the dander on the skin, or the skin particles that are dying and flaking off. And typically there's bacteria with that as well that can irritate people's airways and things like that. So that a dog with fur or a double coat is shedding more frequently, so that you're going to be exposed to more of the dander. The dander is still on the dogs that have the hair, but because the hair is trapped there longer, it's keeping the dander on the skin longer, and you're getting less shedding. So that, no, there's no such thing as a hypoallergenic dog, but there are dogs that shed less.
We have a lot of designer dogs, and people are always looking for, does it have hair? And I'm like, does it shed? I said, look at the Bernese, it sheds, But if you want something that isn't going to shed, go to a purebred poodle, because they don't shed. You aren't going to get that assurance from your vet, or a breeder cannot give that assurance that every one of those designer dogs that are bred with a poodle is going to be actually hypoallergenic. You cannot give that assurance.
Janice and other breeders like her aren't going to tell you what breed to get. They are going to encourage you to do your homework when choosing a dog, however. They want people to take the time to learn about many breeds and breeders, and ignore the hype that one breed is perfect for everyone.
Research the kind of breeds that interest you, and then go and visit, if you can find local breeders, go and visit those dogs to see kind of what they're like. There's lots of dog shows and dog competitions as well around that welcome people just to come. So come in, walk around, actually see what those breeds are like up close, personal. Have a good look and understanding of what your lifestyle is like. How much time in a week do you have to spend with a dog? What are the grooming needs? Do you have any allergies? All of that kind of stuff. And then, kind of narrow it down to a couple of different breeds. And a lot of times breeders will provide you with a list of people who have purchased from them before. So go and visit those and ask what their relationship was with the breeder too. I mean, when I have a litter of puppies and when these puppies are ready to go, I know the people where they're going very well, even if they're new to me. We've spent a lot of time together before they actually get to take the puppy home. But I am that lifeline for that puppy's entire length of life.
Tell me why I shouldn't get a dog off Kijiji.
Oh, various reasons. First of all, you don't know anything about the lines. Like as we have here, we have the parents and the grandparents. We do a tremendous amount of health testing. We do all of the showing, that is required. We also do, show in the States. So we prove our dogs in 3 judging systems. We have, and I mean, not all breeders do that, but we happen to do European standards, and we do American and Canadian. But so that you don't know that the quality of the parents are where they should be is the biggest problem. They might have nice tempers, the parents, but you may not know anything about their health lines or their longevity. Which, you get a dog and it's a Bernese, and it lasts till 6 years. What an absolute horror that is. I have a lot of people that email me and tell me this story, and I'm like, and they say they got it off of Kijiji, or they got it flown in from a bad kennel in Quebec or whatever, and I'm like, you pay now or you pay later.
Don't buy the dog out of the Walmart parking lot. Go to the kennel, go to the house, meet the dogs, meet the puppies, meet the other dogs. Just don't go and say you've met the mom and you didn't. A lot of times you can't meet the sire of the puppies, but you get a feel for what the person has been doing. Ask for health checks. And if you're going to a local shelter, meet that dog a couple of times. You can't fall in love with a dog online. You have to go, and then you have to make sure it fits into your lifestyle. People say, oh, I love a border collie, but they forget that how much energy they have, how much training it needs, and every dog needs to be trained, whether it's a Yorkie to, a Great Dane. They need to be trained. So look at your breed, then go and visit.
I can already feel the calls coming in from people who got happy, healthy, and wonderful puppies on Kijiji or elsewhere online. It does happen. But it's much more difficult to find out about the bloodlines, health tests, and the kennel conditions if you can't visit and follow up with questions for the breeder. And if you want a purebred puppy, and you want to know it isn't from a puppy mill, if you want a happy, healthy companion for years to come, why would you take the chance?
Why are you choosing to do such a high standard?
Because I wouldn't even have gotten into it if it hadn't have been to try to improve the Bernese line in Canada. Like to really start bringing quality dogs that are foundation bloodlines and have been proven to be able to do their job and have good longevity. I wouldn't even have gotten into it if I hadn't wanted to do that. And unfortunately, we have made this breed extremely popular. And just as happened with Dalmatians, we have a lot of bad breeding going on.
Visit us online to tell us your dog stories for possible inclusion in future episodes. And don't forget to share photos of your canine friends on social media with the hashtag NSK9.
And why do you think they have become so popular?
Well, they're beautiful. They're beautiful animals. They have wonderful temperaments. They look like the panda bear of the dog world, and they kind of remind you of that. As you can see, they're kind of comical, and they're always doing something. They do have a big heart. They will do anything you ask, anything, and without question.
A purebred dog isn't the right choice for everyone, or even what everyone wants. Next time on NSK9, we're exploring the world of dog rescues.
We don't really know what happened to him, right? So there are little movements that we make, or if we have a Ziploc bag in our hand or whatever, he's very scared of certain little things that we would never think of had we had him from a puppy. So there are going to be some little personality traits that the dogs have that you're not really sure how they got them, but you just kind of accept them, the way they come, and a lot of those personality traits go away once they get into a very loving, comfortable family.